and welcome to another episode of Advanced Glitch Building. Today I'm going to show you how to make a small sphere out of rescaled base portals. Knowledge of pretty much every single building glitch is needed for this, so hope you came to class prepared. First, start by grabbing a level wire. This will be your center point for the entire sphere. Then place some small floors above and to the left at 90 degrees and 45 degree angles. This will help with rotating the center point faster later on. Next, flip your center point on its side so the top is facing towards you. Build up one small floor and reverse wire from a position to the right or left, pulling down to the center and blender glitching a small floor there. Next, place two half-length short walls at the side and top as shown. Ignore me building the lower one, you don't need it. Next, reverse wire glitch from a wall cap at each corner and connect each wire from the reverse wire glitch to your center point. Again, ignore me pulling from the bottom, you don't need it. And this is the only time you'll need the top. Next, grab a full-length short wall and wire glitch it into the topmost endpoint. Return to the menu and grab a full-sized alloy floor piece. Store it in your cache and duplicate a short wall, then universal adjacency glitch from underneath the short wall you already glitched. Next, we need to grab ourselves a rescaled wire at just the right size. Place a wooden wall anywhere, then grab a hanging lamp from the build menu. Switch to your wire, place one end of the wire, then toggle back to the light. Pull it as close as you can to the wooden wall without being up against its side. Now zoom out a bit if needed. Scale down the hanging lamp until the very top of it is barely above the metal lip of the wooden wall. Then wire glitch and place the rescaled wire. You can test and see if this wire is at the correct size you need. Grab a base portal from the menu, store it in your cache, then duplicate the wire you just rescaled. Then tether glitch it against the alloy wall you placed earlier by your scaffolding, such that it will be placed on its side and pass through the center point. If looking down from above after you place the portal, and all of your wires line up directly down the center of the portal, you've nailed the correct size. If not, try rescaling the wire again and repeat the test until you've done it. It shouldn't take you more than a couple tries. Next, you can either choose to go ahead and make the sphere with the radius already placed with the short wall in the alloy floor. If you want to do that, you get to skip a bunch of these other extra steps, but in my builds where I've done this setup, I go a bit smaller with the circumference of the circles for the spheres so that the portals merge into each other a bit better and create a more solid structure. But you don't have to do that. Skip to the following step, past the part where I use the light boxes, and just follow the rest of the steps accordingly after that point. But for those of you that want to learn exactly how I've made mine in some of my builds, you'll need to shift the position and nudge the endpoints of the wires just a little bit closer to the center point, exactly 1/2 light box distance closer. To do this, select a light box and glitch it into the topmost position. Build away from your center point another 2 boxes, reverse wire from the third position with the box, pulling and connecting to the endpoint where you placed the first box. Then go ahead and delete all of the boxes. Return to the build menu and grab a large triangle piece and wire glitch it into the topmost point you just created. Then adjacency glitch from a large triangle to a small one at the snap point facing down. Grab a half short wall, place it on the small triangle where at least one corner of it is intersecting with the wire you're working from. Then grab a wall cap and reverse wire from that point, pulling and connecting down to your center point. Now delete everything but the very last wire you just made. Now you're ready to repeat what we did before with a short wall and alloy floor. Glitching the short wall into that new point, then universal adjacency glitch to an alloy floor from the short wall beneath its previous position. The alloy floor is your crosshair, so grab a portal, store it in your cache, duplicate the rescaled wire you made earlier, then place one end along the vertical groove of the alloy floor, pulling down to its intersection with the other groove, the horizontal one, where they cross each other. That will be your target each time you do this for every single placement of each rescaled portal. Once the portal is placed, you can move on to the next one, grabbing your light boxes, reverse wire glitching from the third position and pulling to the center, glitching in a large triangle, adjacency to a small triangle, place a short wall so that at least one corner is crossing the wire that you're working on, reverse wire glitch from a wall cap, pull to the center and delete everything but the most recent wire you made. Grab a full-length short wall, glitch it into the new wire end, grab an alloy floor, store it into your cache, Duplicate the short wall and adjacency back to the alloy floor from a beneath position of the short wall. Get very familiar with this long series of glitches. This is what you will be doing for the next probably hour, if not more. Once you have all 4 portals placed, again, ignore the bottom one I made here, you don't need it. Then it's time you rotate your center wire to the next position. Looking down from above your entire structure, you need to rotate your center wire counterclockwise by 45 degrees each iteration. If you do more than this, the spacing will be too far between the portals and they won't line up as we have them measured. And any closer than 45 degrees together and they will be too close to tether glitch them all into place for a finished sphere. So, pull from a reverse wired small floor at 45 degrees and connect to your center, deleting the old wire afterwards. Now it's back to the very beginning. Wire glitch a small floor into the center point at its new orientation, then build up into the side, reverse wire and blender glitch another small floor in the center at a 45 degree angle. Place your 2 half-length short walls. All you need are these 3 points poking out below the portals that you have previously placed here, here, and here. These are the only 3 that you need to grab at each rotation from now on. Once the short walls are placed, I would suggest getting in the habit of deleting the small floors and any other wires already connected to the center that aren't the main center one. Then you can safely and quickly reverse wire glitch with the wall caps and connect to your center worry-free. Again, you don't need the top or bottom positions, just the 3 ones on the outside. They kind of look like a little chicken foot when you're done with it. Once you have your chicken foot, it's time to grab the light boxes again. Unless you have chosen not to use my specifications, then go ahead and just grab a short wall and adjacency to the alloy floor, then place your rescaled portals. Then move on to the next rotation. Repeat that until the last section, in which you will need to change some things up to fit everything right. I will explain more about that later. So here we are with everything done but the very last 3 portals at the very last rotation. This section can be a bit tricky, but it can be done. First, once you've rotated your wire to the final position, wire glitch a small floor into the center point and place a half short wall like this. You'll need it later. Next, you need to flip the center wire back to a horizontal position. I suggest just building out from the small floor, deleting the wire, then using a light floor to get a new level wire in the same central point. Once you have your wire back horizontally, glitch in a small floor and glitch in another small floor to the center from a 45 degree angle. Place a short wall and then reverse from a wall cap at the corner spot poking out. Pull and connect that to your center point. Next, delete everything but the wire you just made, and be careful not to delete the vertical short wall you made in the previous step. Next, if you've been using the box lights to nudge the wire and a little closer like I do, you need to go ahead and do that again here. If not, just move on to the next step. So next is glitching in a full length short wall, then adjacencying to an alloy floor below that short wall. Once that's done, do not place your next portal yet. Instead, just duplicate the short wall and build back a couple of spaces away from the sphere to save that position. You'll need it later. Then you can go ahead and delete the first 2 or 3 alloy floors. Next, grab a wall cap and reverse wire from the bottom part of the vertical short wall you placed earlier. Then do the same from the top part of that same short wall. But be careful when pulling from the top. Be sure to move back around behind the entire sphere and look at the center point from that angle. You need to have this wire connect to the center when it is level or it'll twist. Now you can delete that short wall once you have those 2 angled wires. Next, you need to place the top of these last 3 portals. So, if you're nudging with the light boxes, do that thing now. If not, go ahead and do the short wall and alloy floor thing, then place the rescaled portal at the top position. Then go ahead and delete your center wires now. The level and up angled ones, but leave the down angled one for last. You'll need that next. So go ahead and grab an alloy floor and build back the 2 spaces from the level part you saved earlier, and place a rescaled portal at the appropriate spot at this level position, then delete all the alloy floors. And here we are at the very last step of the very last part. If you're nudging with light boxes, go ahead and do your thing now at your last wire that's angled down away from your center point. If not, then ignore that bit. Next, we're going to need to flip this wire 180 degrees so it's upside down. Snap a small floor, not in the center, but into the wire end that you would normally put a short wall for the adjacency bit. Build out one small floor length, delete the center wire and the first small floor, then use a light floor to replace the wire with one that's now upside down. Now you can grab a short wall, glitch into the upside down point, grab your ally floor, store it into your cache, duplicate the short wall and adjacency from the top position of that upside down short wall. Now rescale your portal and place it against the top of the alloy floor like all the others. It can be a tight squeeze, this one, but you can get right up underneath the other portals for a pretty close to perfect final placement. So, there you go, a perfect sphere of rescaled base portals. I hope this tutorial has made sense. Let me know what you think in the comments, give me some suggestions on how I can improve on these tutorials, and let me know what else you guys want to learn to build. And if you like this stuff, go ahead and subscribe because there's a lot more of these tutorials coming, at least 3 in the next month. I will see you guys next time.